Anwar Mhajne is an Associate Professor of Political Science and International Studies at Stonehill College and joins us now live from Boston. Thanks very much indeed for your time. So how optimistic are you that these talks will in fact bear fruit, given how often we've been here before?
Well, I'm very cautious about being optimistic. Now, the plan, does give us some time to breathe and gives the population in Gaza, civilian population in Gaza, some hope for relief, right? So humanitarian aid, stopping the bombing, and then promises withdrawal from Israeli troops on the ground. We've seen that happen before, ceasefire, stopping at different stages before. So I'm holding my breath for now and paying attention. Though geopolitically, things have shifted a little bit. We see Iran declaring its support for the deal. We saw Qatar and the U.S., as well as Turkey, as well as Germany and other countries around the world, not only just supporting the deal, but we also saw a movement at the UN to recognize a Palestinian state, including the UK. So that there is a pressure on both sides now that has been mounting for a while. So I'm hoping that that will produce something that is sustainable. Now, we know it might bring some relief in the short run. The question is, how long will it last? And will it guarantee or address the main concerns that Palestinians have, not only in Gaza, because the plan specifically talks about Gaza, but no mention of the West Bank in a meaningful way, and how, a future Palestinian state could form, even though there's vague language about self-determination. So that is yet to be clarified.
Yeah, the vague language has been described as a possible benefit and also a possible drawback of this proposal. Perhaps it works for both sides to have that language vague at the moment, but the red lines will remain over those key issues of disarmament, of troop withdrawal you mentioned, and also who will govern Gaza in the future. Let's say they get the first stage of this deal over the line, that's a hostage and a prisoner exchange. How best can they then try to approach those major stumbling blocks that have been a problem for negotiations in the past?
This is like an important part of who's going to guarantee the continuous implementation. And there are two things that will happen. Hamas was going to wonder, first of all, if Hamas agrees to demilitarize or disarm, what does that mean for the group? Is it going to still have some sort of control, whether if it's not, via governing Gaza through other means? The other question is, how big of a role will they play in what they call the technocrat government, the local governance of Gaza, versus the other level, which has an international element with the UK and Trump leading that. The other question, how will Palestinians respond to the fact that an international outsider force comes and governs their territory? It just has some colonial kind of remnants there, where the UK and the US are going to help govern Gaza, as well as the international force. Now, what is the terms of the agreement? What are their conditions, and kind of what are they going to be able to do there within the Gaza Strip? What role does the PA have to play in this? What does it mean for the PA to reform? And will it connect the West Bank to Gaza? These are important questions, and it requires an important investment from regional and international actors to make sure that, first of all, the withdrawal is complete, that when Israel, let's say, withdraws to the third stage, where they maintain some control over, I think, 17% of the Gaza Strip, that they will not stall, they will not build settlements, they will not prevent people from returning to these areas. So that's an important element. Two, Hamas has to guarantee that they're going to respect the terms of the deal, with not demilitarization, and then guaranteeing that the authorities, that local as well as non-local ones that are going to govern Gaza, are able to do their job effectively. And then the larger question of what happens after that.
And do you think there is a higher chance of success in these talks because Hamas is essentially running out of options? Militarily, they've largely been defeated, and it appears that they've run out of allies, with many Arab countries signing up to this agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hamas is facing pressure from different sides, right? First of all, Iran is agreeing to this is a big deal. The fact that Qatar and Turkey and all of them are pushing for this agreement is important. They lost the majority of the leadership. There is no central command, really. So they are running out of options. And that's for sure the same thing for the Israeli side. They are, domestic opinion inside of Israel is pro the agreement. I think over 70% are in support of Trump's plan. Also, the hostage families and the anti-war camp has been protesting aggressively in the past few months. Netanyahu is also losing global support. Israel is suffering a crisis, a global crisis. We see even among MAGA people, the supporter of Trump, who are also tired and also questioning why the U.S. is supporting Israel unconditionally. So I think both sides are facing immense pressure, and definitely Hamas is they have limited options at this point in the process.
Anwar, thank you very much indeed for your analysis today. Pleasure having you on the programme. Anwar Mhajne there joining us live.